and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me using my current beauty favorites. So I haven't done monthly favorites in probably 3 or 4 months. I just don't feel like I have enough new products. Like I stay obsessed with the same products for months at a time. So I felt like my monthly favorites started getting really repetitive. You know, I don't have any PR coming to me. I buy all the makeup that I use on my channel. And so it's sometimes a little expensive to try out all new releases. So I try and get a lot of them, but I don't get everything. And sometimes I just wait until I've seen a lot of really good reviews about products before I decide to try them. That way I'm not spending money on things that I really don't want or I don't need. So as a result, I thought I would just do like a get ready with me using current beauty favorites. You guys can see the things that I have been obsessed with lately, and kind of get an idea of the types of products that I love and that I use consistently on an everyday basis. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and prime my face using the new Model's Own Face Base. This is their face primer by the brand Model's Own. You can get this on Ulta.com. A lot of people did like full face reviews or full collection reviews of this one, and this is their mattifying primer. So it's an oil-free, fragrance-free. It is a silicone-based primer, and this is what it looks like, just your clear silicone base. The thing I love about this is that it does have a pump. So it's like a squeezy tube, but it has a pump at the same time. You can really see how much you're using. And a little bit of this guy goes a long way. I've never really been a huge fan of silicone-based primers. I had always found that I loved the soothing effect or the smoothing effect. They are really soothing on the skin as well, but the smoothing effect that they gave. But with my oily skin, most of them weren't mattifying. They're really just used as a smoothing base. Whereas they typically aren't super pore filling. They'll do some, but not a lot of pore filling. And they would never kept my oils at bay. And I don't know if it's that my skin has changed a little bit and it's just not quite as oily as it used to be. Or that this one really does help with that mattifying. You know, it says that it's a mattifying primer. So I've really been loving this. I love the way every foundation I have applies on top of it. Everything agrees with it. So it's just a really well formulated primer. I like it more than, you know, Smashbox is famous for their silicone based primers. Just their clear primer. It's a bestseller on a lot of makeup websites. A lot of people really do love it. I don't mind that one, but it isn't mattifying. It just smooths your skin. So next I'm going to go in with the Tarte Clay Stick Foundation. I just posted a full review and wear test of this guy. I absolutely love this foundation. It is holy grail for me at this point. You know, I talked about in that video how it does oxidize, which I don't like. You know, you definitely have to go up a shade. Their shade range isn't very great, or isn't very large, I should say, so it's definitely hard for a lot of people to find a color that will work for them. But if you can find a shade that will work for you, you know, I've used it probably about 5 times and I just haven't used up very much of it, if you can see in there. So I feel like I'm not running through this one. A thing that a lot of people found with, what's it called, the Hourglass Stick Foundation, is that they were running through that one very quickly because you had to use a lot to get a good coverage out of it. And I don't have that issue with this one. Alright, and then for concealer, I've kind of been doing a concealer duo thing right now. So I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser Concealer. I have this one in the shade Fair. This one I just use right here underneath my eyes to really help that hide my dark circles. And then I just use it on my eyelid to really cancel out my veins and prime my lids. And then I've been going in with the NYX HD Concealer. This is my holy grail concealer. I absolutely love this. I've gone through like 20 of these concealers because I just love them so much. It's just a nice medium coverage concealer, but it's very wet, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't dry down very quickly, and that's what I like about it. It makes it really blendable, and I don't have any issues with it lifting any of my foundations. It doesn't cake up during the day. I'm sorry, you can probably hear banjo playing in the background. If you don't know who Banjo is, then you need to follow me on Snapchat. It's TLWeaver11. I'll have it on the screen at the intro of this video. But he's my dog. He's super funny. You just have to check him out. He's hilarious. So I'm just using the L'Oreal sponge to blend this in. Alright, and then to set all of that concealer down, I've actually been going in with the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster. This is their matte sculpting palette. A lot of people have been talking about this one. It is really, really great. The packaging is a bit cheap, I'll have to say. This shade right here, which is kind of like the highlight shade or like the under eye setting shade, mine is not glued in very well, so it's like about to fall out. So I mean, that's like my only complaint about the packaging, but I just use this guy on my Real Techniques multitasking brush and set underneath the eyes. It's just a really nice creamy and buttery type of powder. They are very, very soft powder, so you do get a lot of kick up, but it's because it's a very soft powder. And I just love the shades in here. This shade, it's a nice kind of cream color. It has a little bit of a yellowy undertone, nothing too major, so you know, if you want a little bit of that yellow brightness, it happens, but it's not going to be super, super yellowy. And then to set my face overall, I've been obsessed with the Wet n Wild pressed powder. I'm in the shade Warm Light, so this just kind of warms up my foundation. It adds like a nice airbrushed look to the skin. Oh my gosh, this is brand new, so I can't get it open. There we go. So adds a nice airbrushed look to the skin because it's a really nice soft powder, but it's not going to be completely matte. It's just going to have that kind of, it's not luminescent, but it's just a soft focus look. The other one I've been obsessed with right now is actually this one from e.l.f. This is their finishing powder from their Beautifully Bare line, or their Beautifully Precise line, one of those. And I use a shade Fair Light. This one gives a very similar effect of just kind of warming up the skin. It sets everything down, but it doesn't completely cake on the powder. And you can use a lot of this and it's still not going to be very cakey on your skin. So I also really like this one. But for today, I'm going to use Wet n Wild. So I'm just going to use this guy on my powder brush from Royal & Langnickel. And then to contour, I'm going to go back into that Physicians Formula Bronze Boosting Matte Sculpting Palette. And I'm going to be taking my Luxie Precision, the 660 is their precision foundation brush, but I actually like to use it to contour. So I take both of these shades right here. So it does have a really nice, cool contouring shade for people who are really, really fair. And then it has a really nice, warm contouring shade. So if you have a really deep skin tone, you can definitely use the warm one. I take a little bit of both. So I take like 2 or 3 taps of that cool one, and then 1 tap of the warm shade, and I find that I get my kind of perfect sculpting shade. And then for blush and bronzer, I've actually been reaching into my Tarte Showstopper palette. This isn't a limited edition palette, you can still get it. And inside, I've really been reaching for the bronzer. This is our Park Avenue Princess bronzer. So you can definitely buy it individually. I don't have the individual, I just have it in this palette. So I've been reaching for this one a lot, but more so just like the Park Ave Princess bronzer. So I'm going to be using my Real Techniques. This is their multitasking face brush. Just a huge kind of bronzer brush. I'm dipping into that guy. And bronzing up the skin. And then for blush, I've been using the e.l.f. blush in the shade Mellow Mauve. This is just one of their studio blushes. It's the product I'm trying to use up this year in 2017, so I've been reaching for it a lot because of that. But I just really like it. It's just a nice kind of neutrally mauve color, but it has just a tiny, tiny bit of a sheen to it. So it gives you like a healthy glow to your cheeks, but it's not really, really kind of sparkly or metallic or shiny or anything like that. And then something I've really been doing lately that I typically don't is I just take a stippling brush like this one from e.l.f. You have one from Wet n Wild, any other brand, like just a large stippling brush. And I've actually just been going in and really blending that blush and bronzer together. I never used to do this. I see Casey Holmes do it all the time. Like she, I think, goes in more to blend it out, like if you put too much on. But I've really been finding that it just blends that blush and bronzer together, so it's more of like a kind of gradient effect versus like bronzer, blush, highlight, if that makes sense. And then for highlight, I do have to go in with my Smashbox and Casey Holmes Spotlight palette. This is the Spotlight palette in Pearl. Just a helicopter, that's fine. So I've been obsessed with this. I can't put it down. I don't remember the last time that I used a different highlighter, to be honest. So I've been mixing this top one and that middle one together. And then this is the Smashbox fan brush. No, I did not purchase this on their QVC moment, or I'm sorry, their HSN moment. I purchased the fan brush a long time before I bought this Spotlight palette. And then for eyes, I've kind of been going between two different palettes right now. I've really been obsessed with this Pirates of the Caribbean palette from Lorac. I think it's because the movie came out, which, by the way, I was a little disappointed in the movie. Actually, a lot disappointed in that movie. If you've seen it and you're obsessed with the series, like, the movie was kind of just a letdown for the end of the series. But anyways, so I've actually been using this guy a lot. And then the other one that I've been using is actually my Meet Matrimony palette from The Balm. I've really been enjoying a nice kind of warmer matte look. I'm not huge into warm shadows. I know that depresses a lot of people. It's just because I have a really fair undertone, so they look kind of funny on me unless I have a lot of self-tanner on. But I've actually been using this one a lot lately to do kind of just a matte, bronzy, smoky eye. But I don't know which one I should use today. I have to go to work. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the bronzy smoky eye from The Balm. So I've just been taking my big fluffy blending brush from Scone and taking this one right here, which is called Matte Lopez. So I just take a little bit of that and fluff that in as my transition shade. And I'm not exact or precise with this at all. I kind of just fluff it all over. So I take it in the crease, I take it above the crease, I take it a little bit down on the lid. Just a little bit of everywhere. And then I've been taking just a fluffy blending brush. It's a little bit smaller, like this one from Wet n Wild. I have 3 of these, by the way. I love this brush. And I take this guy right here, which is a little more cool tone. It's called Matte Rosy. I don't know. It's a little more cool tone, so I take that guy and I just fluff that into the crease and down on the lid. These eyeshadows are really, really blendable and they're pretty pigmented too, so I love all of these Matrimony or matte palettes from The Balm. I get mine off of Haute Look, by the way, so if you don't know what Haute Look is, it's like a it's a discount website run by Nordstrom. So a lot of the products that they have excess of, they put up on Haute Look as, they're not like discontinued or things they just aren't going to be carrying. They're just trying to move their product a little bit faster. So they put them up on there at discounted prices. And then I take a really small, dense, it's not super dense, it's just more of a skinnier blending brush, I guess you could say. This one is from Real Techniques. It's their multitasking eye brush. And I take these 2 shades right here, this purpley one and then this burgundy shade. The purple one is called Matte Moskowski. And then the red one is, or the burgundy one is Matte Kumar. I don't know how to pronounce them. And then I take that and I focus it right here on the outer V pretty much. In tight circles. So then I just go into Matte Lopez, that kind of warmish color that we put in the crease first, and I take that and I just kind of blend it out a little bit. it into more of like a purple, brownish, smoky eye. Not quite what I was going for, but that's what happens to me most days. And then I take a little bit of that dark matte shade right there, which is called Matte Reed, on a pencil brush. This is from e.l.f. And I just run it right there along the lash line. Then I take a little bit of Matte Lopez and Matte Rossi, whatever they are, which is this guy here and that guy right there, and run it under. And then to finish it off, I'm going to take a little bit of Matte Lin right there, just a nice cream color, and put it on the brow bone. And then I've been using my Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil. This one is in the shade Hot Chocolate. You can still get Essence at Ulta. I know where the display used to be, and at least all the Ultas that I've been to, has actually been replaced by LA Girl. But at my local Ulta, they've been putting it, they moved the display next to Makeup Revolution. So it's still available there and in most stores. So then I just take this and I tightline with it and I put it on my waterline. This is just a nice long-lasting eye pencil, and I like the fact that the brown is still going to give some definition to your eyes, but just be a little bit softer than black. Alright, and then to finish off the eye look like 100%, I go in with my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. I did a full review on this one as well. I'll leave that link down below. I love this mascara. I've been going in without curling my lashes lately because my eye's a little bit swollen on this side. And I've actually been skipping my lash primer as well, and I still just really love the effect of this mascara. And then for brows, I do have a bit of a new kind of brow duo. I've been going in with the Benefit Precisely My Brows in the shade number 2. And then finishing off with my Essence Make Me Brow. These two are wonderful together. I love them. I don't know if I'm completely sold on the Precisely My Brow. I think it's too similar to the L'Oreal, what's it called? The Brow Stylist Definer. I think it's too close to that, so I just don't see the need to splurge on this one, but I do really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows, and I will be right back. Alright, and then for lips, this is the one that I've been obsessed with. This is the CoverGirl Melting Pout in the shade 110, which is called Evangelical. Absolutely love it. If you are going to pick one of these up, you definitely have to have this color because it is just the perfect pinky nude. Everybody loves this color. And I think the formulation of these is great. They definitely hit the nail on top of the head with this one. Then to set my face, I've actually been using the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I don't think this is great as my Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, which I've been obsessed with. I just happened to run out of that and I didn't want to repurchase it right away. I wanted to try a couple other things. And to be honest, I can't find anything that I love as much. So sad to say that. But I mean, this one is good. It gets the job done. I just don't think it extends the wear of my makeup as long. And I have the tendency for it to cause water droplets on my forehead, even though it's more of a finer mist. I don't know. I just struggle with it sometimes. But yeah, so that is it, guys. This is a full face using my current beauty favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll leave those videos linked down below so you can check them out. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later. Bye!